We could have built that house in Maine. We could have been something, something. You could have taken me away, but you had bigger things, my love. You had your ticket across the states, didn't even have a place. I still have a lot to say. Hope you got just what you want. I called you last night. You didn't recognize my voice. I sit there lonely. I wondered who you thought I was. We could have built that house in Maine, but palm trees and chaos called your name. There's no one else but me to blame. I wonder how you changed my love. I called you last night. You didn't recognize my voice. I sit there lonely. I wondered who you thought I was. Where did you go? I thought you were supposed to stay right here. Where did you go? I thought you were supposed to stay right here. Where did you go? I thought you were supposed to stay right here. Where did you go? I thought you were supposed to stay right here. Where did you go? I thought you were supposed to stay right here. Where did you go? I thought you were supposed to stay right here. talk all about it. My eyes wander and you still wonder why. Nervous and quiet, you ask why I'm silent. You love me in yellow, I loved you in violet. My eyes wander, you still wonder why. Why can't I sleep? Why should she pay attention to me? Comfortably, I'll live all alone in this mind of my own. Ignoring the signs in front of your face. Take a break, 'cause you're still purple from all those times that you still wonder why. Why you can't sleep? Why should she pay attention to me? Comfortably, I'll live alone in this mind of my all that we say is what do you want? All of this is just for love. Walking in circles, start to say it's who we are.
Hello and welcome in to the Georgia Women's Ice Hockey Club channel. Joining me today is Ren Grimsley and RJ Craig on the camera as we get set for this beautiful matchup outside between your UGA Women's Ice Club Hockey and, of course, South Carolina Women's Ice Club Hockey. Ren, what are you looking forward to in today's game?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game a lot. I'm looking forward to women's hockey out here in the South. Getting to grow the game. We're getting to stream here. It's awesome. Also, the first outdoor game of the season. We have a great venue here, and we got the men's game later tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day of hockey where you can catch Ren and I on the men's stream later. But for right now, we got a great matchup. As you said, growing the game. This is the second year for UGA Women's Ice Club Hockey, and this is really the first game for this South Carolina team. They've played a couple games, but this is going to be their first matchup in the CHS against a team that is also in that division, of course, College Hockey South. So these two powerhouses, of course, South Carolina with a very good men's team, a great history, of course, a couple ECHL teams, and of course Atlanta just had an NHL team, a couple that ended up moving away, and an ECHL team, and then the men's team has been dominant since 1987, so really growing the game here in the South. And then, as mentioned, Ren, beautiful outside day. We weren't sure we'd have this game earlier in the week. Rain was forecasted, but at least as of recent, not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, we're hearing all week that it might get canceled. So fortunate that we get to be here, though. This UGA women's team revolves around offensive forward Paige Alkus. She has 15 goals this season, second in women's college hockey. And then also Hannah Knight, the senior. She's been the captain and the founder of this team, and this team has really revolved around her for the past 2 years.
Yeah, of course, Olivia Shapiro was right next to her in founding this team, and she's since graduated and moved on. And Hannah Knight, now a starter tonight, going along those lines for the UGA women's starter. It's going to be Hannah Knight at wing, Lindsay Todd at center, and Camille Jennings will take up the other wing. The defensive pairing of Morgan Allwert and Haley Holtberg will be in the back with the steady goaltending hand of Ashlyn Carroll. As for South Carolina's starting lineup, not too sure. We'll have to wait until they glide out here as both teams are having a pregame meeting. Ref blows his whistle saying, let's start to get this one underway, as a couple of South Carolina players have entered Georgia's huddle.
Let's do that hockey, they're saying.
Trying to get ready. So a deep bench for Georgia, as of course this is their second season, and as stated, South Carolina with kind of their first game. Yeah, so a shorter bench.
It's going to be something that the Dogs can take advantage of. Obviously a lot more players and a lot more experience, as this is South Carolina's first true game.
So for South Carolina, Morgan Giard, the captain, will be closest. Center glides in as Alyssa Nardlisco. On the other side, on the defensive pairing of Avery Bowen and Zoe Elwell, as we have started, South Carolina wins the puck immediately. Shot on goal, turned away. Bouncing out in front. It'll eventually enter towards the blue line, ship back up to the defender. Good movement around the boards here as Georgia pressures, but for right now, USC maintains possession. Puck unable to get out in front. Good job from the defenders here of Georgia to keep it that way to the outside. Still fighting on the boards, as you can see, kind of in that deep corner. It'll eventually come out. Now out in front, Ashlyn Carroll. Save, score! The original save off the pads gets chipped in. Couldn't exactly see who that was, but the goal goes down, and South Carolina gets on the board first. First game, first goal.
Yeah, right off the bat, a quick face-off win and a quick shot, and the puck was just sort of sitting there in the crease for a few seconds, and then some fighting for it down in the boards, and quick goal there.
Very
huge
quick
for
goal.
South Carolina.
That is huge. Their first CHS matchup, short bench, doesn't matter. Now, the Georgia team will win the puck, however, chipped back out immediately, and I think we're going to have a high stick here. So first penalty, as the clock will stop for penalty. 3 15-minute periods. I think it was a high stick. I missed the call.
I believe it was.
And it looks like That's Alyssa Nardalesco heading to the bench. So Georgia gets a power play pretty immediately, and they'll look to do some damage. They win the faceoff now at the blue line. Toe drag, shot from the point, saved. Blockered away to the corner. South Carolina looks to clear. They will be able to if they can chip it out, and they do. Now they're going to have an on-man rush, shorthanded opportunity here, 2-on-1. Good job by the defender to get it to the corner. Trying to send it out in front, it gets out, but Georgia defender picks it up, and they'll start the rush again. Now they'll have numbers. Player on the other side loses his skate. Taken to the corner by Dana Stott. She's now out in front, backhanded shot blockered away. Second shot from Georgia on this power play. Both blocker saves. In the corner again, battling on the half wall. This one comes out in front, but turned over and chipped out again. So more time burned, Wren, on this penalty kill.
Yeah, and some great speed by Haley McAlerney on there, getting it on that odd man rush down across the ice.
Georgia looks to set up again. However, a bad pass goes off the end of the stick, and there'll be a fight right at Georgia's blue line. South Carolina eventually recovers the puck, and they'll chip it back in. It gets over the stick, so more time comes off the power play.
Great penalty kill here from South Carolina, really not letting the Dogs set up in their zone.
And they got the puck and were able to get it back to their defenders, so this is going to be extra time killed. Play at center ice ends up in South Carolina's hands. On the stick, going into the corner. Sent around the boards. It'll make its way up to the blue line and out and all the way down. No icing as it holds up. However, power play running out. About 15 seconds left. No in-house clock here, so it's all just guessing. Skating down, a 4-on-2 if they hurry is South Carolina. A move inside. Stick lifted, patted away by Carroll. It'll go to the corner. Scrum ensues out in front, tapped by a Georgia defender, but still in Carroll's blocker. She eventually gets it behind her. Now wrapping around out in front again. Another good stick to break this one up, and the power play has ended. The puck comes all the way down for icing.
And a great penalty kill there. If South Carolina can maintain a strong penalty kill, then penalties won't hurt them that much because they're short right now, but with that strong penalty kill, starting with the defensemen, moving it up to the quick forwards over there, I think they'll be all right in this game.
Yeah, you do mention an interesting thing there, Wren, with the fact they're short. You don't want to get even shorter as this draw is won by Georgia. But they did an excellent job there. It looked more like it was a 6-on-5 for them than a 5-on-4. They'll chip this one in, well, Carolina. And it'll be enough for icing, as it looked like she just chipped it in from behind her own red line, or the red line, excuse me. That looked like Lauren Newman.
Yeah, just barely icing right there. If he had not called that, I doubt anyone would have thrown a fit.
Yeah, and Newman was about to skate off. She's told to stay on. The defenseman. She'll check on her goalie before skating behind her center. 11:35 remaining in this first. Georgia wins the faceoff. They'll try and get it out in front, but easily covered by the starting goalie for USC. It's Kelly Ahern. We talked about her couple blocker saves. That was her first real dangerous one that came out in front, but easy enough save.
And this is a great opportunity for the Dogs in their own zone. Just mentally what it can do if you get one back here, not be playing from behind.
This is a Dogs team coming off wins in Columbus versus Auburn. Now, getting out at the blue line right in front of the camera. South Carolina will come up to it, and a bunch of skaters head down as they crash the puck. It'll go all the way behind Ashlyn Carroll. A wraparound opportunity, bodies flying everywhere, as the puck will find its way towards the blue line in center ice. Still a scrum for it. South Carolina comes up with it. Pass out in front. Can't find a stick. Georgia with a chance to clear. A good keep here by the defender, Alyssa Nardalesco. Now a scrum in the corner as everyone's committed to this puck on the half wall. It'll eventually come out right out in front. Shot goes wide. That was the best opportunity besides the goal for South Carolina, as it was right out in front. Now skating back around center ice, toe drag, push to the half wall. Shot goes way high of Ashlyn. Carroll had no chance to glove that one down, and it'll be on the half wall again. Comes out behind her. Georgia has possession here, but a good forecheck gets South Carolina the puck at the blue line. This one found its way towards net, but was blocked out in front. It'll go all the way down, and that looks like icing, and it is.
And it's been Alyssa Nardlisco doing a lot of the heavy lifting here for South Carolina so far. She's had some nice dangles in the center of the ice. Has really been making sure that the puck gets moved around. And they're finding some shots out there. A couple have gone wide. I think maybe one has gone on net, but South Carolina's looking really strong to start this game.
Yeah, not as deep of a bench as Georgia, but right now the skating has certainly been a little bit better. That's where we stand. Face-off draw by Catherine Davis. She wins it, but immediately South Carolina on the forecheck behind Carroll. This one will come out to the blue line, kept in. Shot way wide, blockered out anyway to the half wall. Trying to chip it out is Georgia. They do. They'll chase, dump and chase here as Kearney's on the chase. But South Carolina will get it relatively easy. They look to break out. However, a big hit laid, and the puck comes right out in front of South Carolina's goalie. Now, Ahern watches her skaters go to work as South Carolina has a breakout. Right at the red line, shot, maybe a pass, couldn't get sticked. Another blocker saved by Carroll as no good tip came in. This one will be chipped, but kept in by South Carolina as they fight on the half wall. Thrown towards goal, blockered out in front, and it'll go all the way down. Referee will say it hit a South Carolina stick, so no icing. Georgia will get a partial change as South Carolina looks to get another rush. They will. Good skating and a dump in and an offside. Looked like, again, Alyssa Nardlisco could not hold up.
And it's something we've been mentioning a couple times now, but this short bench, I mean, South Carolina has been skating really, really well. Avery Bowen there had a nice breakaway down the ice. You just got to hope that they can maintain it for 3 solid periods.
Georgia wins the face-off. It bounces over the stick of the defender, so has to be chipped up the boards. Yang battles for it at center ice, but coming up with it is South Carolina. Now looking to get on the rush. They'll get in. Onsides this time as it's carried up by Newman. She looks out in front. However, Georgia gets possession of the puck, and now they'll come the other way. Ping-pong match here. 3-on-2 opportunity, but some good defense on Stott creates the turnover. Again, a stretch pass, and here it's going to be a 2-on-0 if they hurry. They did hold the line. A 1-on-0 as the goalie's all alone. Carroll makes the save, covers it. An excellent save. She'll get stick taps from her bench as she was 1-on-0. It was only her left, and she's able to cover.
Yeah, great save right there. Luckily, that dog's back check also stayed strong, and it kind of messed with their shot a little bit. Couldn't get quite a clean shot, and it went into the chest of the goalie.
Quick shot off the faceoff. Another good save by Carroll as she blockered that one away. Dangerous out front, but eventually it gets to the half wall. Now it looks like Nardsilko comes up with it. Battle still in the corner. It'll chip out behind the goal. Defense here at Georgia needs to get a little bit more stout, and they do. They'll at least be able to get it into the zone of South Carolina. They do throw a shot on goal, but easily blockered away. This will create some offensive zone pressure. A bouncing puck, and under the goalie it goes. A dangerous opportunity as it hit off a South Carolina defender, but Kelly Ahern was able to cover.
Yeah, she's sending at the net, and a little lucky by Ahern there. It fell right into her arm as she was sprawled out across the ice. But another save there for Ahern.
Do want to apologize as things going on in Georgia defensive end is hard to see. Can't see it on camera, but these boards are actually fogged up, and I cannot leave my position and stand up due to how our setup with the outside game is going. Georgia wins the face-off. They'll dump it in. Immediately covered by South Carolina. Avery Bowen will skate it out, get the stretch pass, and now it'll be a 2-on-2. Good skating here from South Carolina all alone. Another 1-on-0. Ashley Carroll turns it away again with the blocker. It was Genevieve Crouch all alone, and she couldn't get any lift on it. The blocker does all the work. Now Georgia will clear. We'll see if they get a change here. The defenders will skate off. They need to hurry, though. One will stay on as that stretch pass just missed. Now a battle at center ice. This one will get through. A fight in the middle. A good toe drag shot into Ashlyn Carroll's breadbasket, and another save for her. So South Carolina Wren has certainly looked better to start this one off, but if I had to pick an MVP so far, it'd be Ashlyn Carroll.
Oh, most definitely. A few 1-on-0 saves. I mean, Georgia doesn't want to get too much of those because eventually one of them is going to go in. That's just how it works in hockey.
Great job, but defenders of Georgia need to help out a little more as this puck is won by Georgia off the face-off. They'll look to skate it out, but this South Carolina forecheck has been dangerous. This one will get out, and it'll hold up for icing as it enters South Carolina's zone. Defender-to-defender pass as looks like Avery Bowen's the one to receive and chip it up the board. Still at center ice. It'll eventually find the skate and stick of a South Carolina player. No shot on goal until now, and it is covered up by Carroll. So skating inside, but unable to get a great look as that one saved.
And Catherine Stutzman for South Carolina has had a few great plays. That was her on the breakaway right there, and she had almost had the assist there if it weren't for Carroll's save.
I have Carroll at 13 saves right now, and we're not even 10 minutes in the game. So
wild.
South Carolina's offense, as they win the faceoff, has been dominant. They'll look to throw it out in front. It goes wide. Now Georgia should be able to chip it out. They look for the pass. They're able to get it out. Now almost a breakaway, but a good stick from South Carolina. And now they'll be on the rush. Again, more ping pong here as Nardlesko looks to shoot. It'll hold up right in front of Carroll. Now bouncing around. She'll be able... Was she able to get a glove on it? No, that one finds the back of the net.
That one goes in.
Interesting scenario there, and where the puck was bouncing around so long, and it'll just hop over her blocker for the second goal of the game for South Carolina.
Yeah, it was almost like a face-off in the crease almost. I mean, I don't think anyone was really shooting it at the goal. Carroll just couldn't quite place it, and it went right through her.
Absolutely, as now... with the game 2-0, Georgia will win the face-off. However, forechecking of South Carolina, potent as always. They'll have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Good stick here from the defender. Takes it to the boards. As this one will be covered after a shot, it looked like. As it just trickled in. Not too much power on that one as Carroll's easily able to cover.
Another butterfly save there from Carroll. That's 15 now. She's having a fantastic game here, keeping the Dogs in this. They do need to set up in their own zone, however, and try and get one back.
After the face-off, South Carolina wins it. They'll throw something on net, but it was blockered out in front. Still on the half wall. It comes out. Out in front, shot. Goes off the blocker of Carroll again. It'll come out to the blue line. South Carolina maintains possession. Shot. This one finds its way to Carroll. And another save right into the chest as she covers.
That one had some zip on it. The Dogs right now on the forecheck, though, have been unable to get out of the zone. That might be their best bet right now. With about 5 minutes left in the period. Just keeping it out of their zone, and maybe something can happen on their end.
I apologize as the South Carolina goal just popped up again. That was not true. It remains 2-0, 10 minutes through this game. As this one comes out to center ice. Entering the zone, but Georgia gets it out quickly. Past minute or so has been quiet as these teams fight in center ice for the puck. Georgia finally comes out with it clean. First shot in a while for them is a glove save from Ahern. That one actually well placed as Ahern had to go cross her body with the glove, but makes the save regardless.
Yeah, like you said, across her body. I'm surprised she went with the glove and not just a blocker save, but it did stop the play. Stott there on the breakaway. She had a great shot, as you mentioned. Just no one around that she could pass it to or to get a shot off.
Status certainly looked like the best skater so far for Georgia tonight. As they maintain possession, shot on goal, turned away by the blocker. I'm not sure Ahern even saw that one. Now South Carolina gets possession, a chip pass off the board to herself. Skating down, it's Nardlesko. She toe drag shot from the side. I think goes wide, as it'll be found on the other half wall. South Carolina looks to get it in front of Carroll. It'll come back out to Nardlesko. She shoots, it's blockered out in front, and this one will get out of the zone. No icing, as it will hold up in front of Ahern. Now South Carolina starts their breakout again, chips it into the zone, met at the wall. Puck will be fought for. South Carolina will chip it in deeper. They'll send it around the boards, and we've got a whistle here. We'll see. It looks like a Georgia penalty, but for what, not too sure yet. As there's no argument.
Definitely a Georgia penalty.
No signal, so we'll just be left guessing.
I believe it was tripping. I saw South Carolina went down right there, and now this will be an interesting opportunity for the Gamecocks to maybe get another one here on the board.
This will be their first power play of the night. Of course, Georgia had one that was killed off by South Carolina. Shot already at Carroll. She blockers it away. As good puck movement here is eventually broken up by Georgia. They'll have a shorthanded opportunity. We'll see if they elect to take it. If they don't, they'll just dump it in to kill some time off. Although the skater's not getting back. Looks like they forgot they were on the penalty kill, and now a 3-on-2 developing into a 4-on-3 for Carolina right out in front, but it'll go wide as the pass was unable to be controlled. Now back to the point. We'll see if we see a shot as they drift in. They do, and it's a goal. Little wrist shot as they glide into the high slot. It beats Carroll glove side as it just finds the top corner of the net.
Such a powerful shot and such a great lift on that. I mean, it really couldn't have gone much higher without hitting the post. And that's an excellent, taking advantage of the power play here for South Carolina.
So 1-for-1 on the power play. And like you mentioned, great placement as she was just allowed to walk in and really pick her spot in the high slot. So Georgia wins the face-off. They'll chip it in to South Carolina's zone. 2 minutes and about 20 seconds remain in the first period. Of course, 3 15-minute periods. South Carolina gets possession, 3-on-1 if they hurry. Defender trying to get back. Pass elected to shoot, and instead it finds Carroll's mask, I think, out in front. So instead of opting for the pass, a shot, and Carroll turns it away. Another good stop by her on the 2-on-1. However, South Carolina has had so many chances, they lead 3-0. Long stretch pass comes out. They'll chip it in as Hannah Donnelly looks to follow up her chip. Georgia will maintain possession behind the net. Skating into a bunch of Gamecocks, though, is Georgia, as they'll look to get it out. Instead, dumped back in. So they'll have to work a little harder for it. Pass out in front in the high slot. Big slap shot turned away by Carroll. South Carolina maintains possession, tries to get it back in, instead back to the blue line. Shot, this one a wrister, blocked out in front. And I think Ashlyn Carroll covers after that. I think it hit the shin of the defender out in front.
And Nardlesko had a great breakaway there. It almost looked like what we've seen McDavid do in the NHL a bunch of times, as he just beats his defender and tries to slide right into the crease and get one up where the goalie can't get it.
So South Carolina wins the faceoff, gets a pass out in front, but good stick from the defender. Now Georgia will be on the breakout. 1-on-3, however, creates an easy offensive zone possession now for Carolina. Walking out, high slot shot, turned away. I think that one went wide, might have caught a piece of Carroll. Defender chasing on the half wall. This one will come back up to the point. This will be thrown in on net. It'll bounce around and eventually go to the other side approaching Georgia's bench. Puck at the blue line. This one will stay in the zone. Good keep, but Georgia's able to get it and throw it out. So our clock here is a little behind of the in-house clock. As South Carolina gets one more rush, it seems, with about 25 seconds left. Shot. Score! Just a simple wrister, but again, excellent placement in the high slot as it beats Carroll in the same spot, Ren.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 3-on-1 right there, and, you know, you got to like your odds on those. South Carolina's found a strategy now of just sending them into the net and hoping that something can happen and fighting for it down in the crease. I think that's what Georgia needs to do. From the little bit of zone time we've seen from them, I think that they can find a backside shot after, you know, fighting for it around the crease.
So I think the scoreboard operator in here had a little bit of trouble. They started going early, so there's only 10 seconds after South Carolina wins the faceoff. Time ticking down. They'll try and get a pass out in front, but it'll harmlessly be turned away. And that is the end of the first period. So after 15, it is 4-0 South Carolina. We'll take a short break and be right back.
Would you just grow up? Would your dad let you listen? To the record I give you.
We are back at the Classic Center Foundry Pavilion for more women's club ice hockey, as right now Georgia trails South Carolina 4-0. Of course, another period of 15 minutes. South Carolina recovers after losing the faceoff. They'll enter the zone, pass into the high slot, sticked away, and goes into the corner. Chasing is Georgia, and they'll eventually get possession, a pass out into their own slot. This one will find the skate of Georgia as they try and turn it loose. A good keep here and thrown back in. So they'll have to fight a little bit more as they are behind Ashlyn Carroll. And this one is eventually thrown down the ice. It'll hold up for icing again, so South Carolina will have to retreat. As this is thrown forward, a good stretch pass outside the stick. Good recovery from the defender. Sticked away from Carroll as it was thrown out in front. I should say sticked away by Carroll as it found its way to her. Now skating on the other end, a one-on-one. This is the second highest goal scorer in women's college hockey for the AAU. She's looking to stuff, pass out in front. Again, blockered away. Couldn't exactly see what happened there, Ren, but of course it was who we expected with the 15 goals on the rush.
Yeah, I think that's what the Dogs were missing in that first period was the domination by Paige Alkus.
Now someone else but Alkus skates in, couldn't see the number, throws it in on Ahern, but she turns it away. It'll come out to a good toe drag, inside shot, wrister turned away, hits off the high glass and goes into the corner. Georgia looks alive as the second period begins here. Turnover at the blue line. Now South Carolina has an opportunity. A 1-on-0. Alyssa Nardlisco in on Carroll. Shot wide. Now Georgia will get possession at their own blue line, skating forward. Kearney goes to the wall with her defender. South Carolina will come up with it. Kearney continues to chase as this one's sent around the boards. And now sent around the boards by Georgia. As it actually finds its way to center ice. Good keep here, however. It's going to be another breakout, this time by McAlarney. Her shot, blocker away by Carroll. That time off her hand blocker, that wrist blocker, instead of her big pad on her legs. So 2 great saves here early from Carroll as this one will come all the way out on a pass by South Carolina to their own blue line. They'll regroup. So both teams with some excellent chances, yet no goals here early. As this one is thrown in on Carroll by her defender to cover, and it looks like a little miscommunication between Carroll and her defender.
Yeah, I know a quick few 1-on-nothings here for South Carolina, but like you said at the beginning, UGA has just looked so lively this second period, and they've gotten a few shots on. Alkus had a great breakaway. Hannah Knight had a great opening face-off win.
Yeah, Georgia has certainly looked better, but both teams have had their opportunities. Face-off won by South Carolina. Quick shot in. Doesn't find its way to Carroll. Now stuffed into her blocker. Still out in front. And Carroll eventually is able to cover after it finds its way to her. So that one was bouncing around in the slot for a long time, Ren. Eventually, Carroll's able to cover.
Yeah, Carroll found that one, which I think in the second goal she wasn't able to find, and it trickled past her.
South Carolina wins again. They are able to keep a zone. What a keep. Now a slap shot from the point bounces wide. That one dangerous. Now wraparound opportunity, loses it on the stick, and will try and send it back up to the point. However, kept around the boards. Georgia with a good zone here. No passes into the slot this time. Back to the point. Now over the half wall, shot from Ovechkin's office, finds the back of the net, perfect placement. That one might have gone off the inside post and in. An excellent job as Avery Bowen increases the South Carolina lead to 5.
And that one was like a curveball in baseball. I swear it went higher than the goal and then came back down. Went right over the shoulder of Carroll.
Bowen, after scoring, gives a little celebration and gets yelled at by her coach. They lead 5-0. Now, that was an excellent one. I think that might have hit off both the post and the crossbar. Who knows? As now Georgia gets to work after the win. This shot goes high. Looked like Oquez again. as the puck is found by the goal scorer, Bowen, the most recent one. But George is able to keep and send it back down towards Bowen. It'll be a battle of the 10s on the puck. However, it'll come all the way out to the blue line, and this time South Carolina will be able to clear. Good stick here from Oquez as she pokes it back in. And they'll say Georgia was off, so after it was dumped in yet again, they'll blow the whistle due to the offsides.
Yeah, and now we're seeing why Aucas has 15 goals this season. This team seems to be so lively when she's on the ice, and she really works her way around and has found a couple of good shots. That last one just went a little high.
As she'll be on the draw, it looks like, and win it for her team. So Alquez making great plays everywhere so far for Georgia. Thrown on net. This one looks like covered up quickly. So the shot towards the blockers of Ahern.
And the Dogs are going to need a really great shot to get it past Ahern here, as we're learning. She's had a few really good saves.
Good night for both goalies, despite what the score might say. As this one's a battle out in front, and eventually we'll go to the half wall, now out in front again. Puck bouncing around everywhere. Now South Carolina with clean possession looks to break out. Another good stick from Georgia, though, and they're still fighting in the offensive zone. Will South Carolina be able to get it out? They will. Now they have a 4-on-1. However, unable to complete the pass, Georgia looks like they'll stay alive from that dangerous opportunity as Stott skates on it. She'll try and send it out around the boards, and with the help of teammate, will eventually be able to get it out, as it looked like Hayden Peel helped get it out. Now South Carolina coming right back, though. Long change for Georgia. However, a missed pass allows that change to get off. That was dangerous, as this one's dumped into the zone. Sent around the boards and taken into the high slot. Now walking in, wrist shot, blockered away. It'll go into the corner. Now behind the net, pass out in front, sticked away by Carroll. Now right out in front, shot scored. Great pass right into the crease, as it found a lot of blue ice, and then eventually the elastic on the netting as South Carolina goes up 6-0.
Yeah, that was Morgan Giard on that one. She just muscled that one in right past the goal. She stayed on the opposite side post, and one went right through the crease, and she just found it and pushed it in.
Yeah, Giard goes down with the goal. However, I think it was Mikelarney on the assist. A really good one from behind the net, as Giard was able to receive it and eventually stuff it in, as mentioned. So, in the first 6 minutes of this period, South Carolina has increased their lead by 2, as that pass in the crease goes unscathed for Georgia, as it couldn't find a stick. The chop out is able to get out to center ice, as South Carolina looks to regroup. So, Ren, for a team playing their first real game in the CHS, their first real game as an organization, perhaps, going pretty well.
Yeah, they look fresh. The skating of their players is really phenomenal. I think Georgia's had a few really good clears. There's another goal there.
Yeah, as that one was a shot thrown in out in front, and I'm thinking the refs whistled it dead before it went in. Now they might allow it. They will. So that was a shot thrown in. It goes off Carroll's shoulder, and South Carolina plays it perfectly to where they stuff it in afterward. So that was certainly a goal. However, the ref's quick whistle seemed like, Carroll had gotten the advantage, but they'll call it off and instead call it a goal. So 7-0 here for South Carolina, as they'll win this face-off and skate into their offensive zone. Wrist shot here, find into the breadbasket of Carroll, and then eventually falls to the ice where she's able to cover. So, Ren, I eventually had to stop keeping track of the shot total for South Carolina because it was a little bit too much if you're a Georgia fan. If you're a South Carolina fan, you absolutely love it. Another shot here. This one goes behind Carroll, and that is an unlucky bounce, but she's able to reach behind her back and cover it.
Popped right into the air.
That was one of the stranger things we've seen. I think it goes off her stick, up in the air, behind her, hits off her back, and yet she's still able to cover. This one will find its way towards her again. Defender able to stick it out. And after it finds its way to the blue line, it'll be shot back in, but wide. Georgia will skate on. They should be able to get it out this time, and they will. Good clear here. And they're actually able to chop it in the offensive zone, so we'll see if they can establish some zone time. At the start of the period, they had a good couple of chances. Since then, it's been a little lackluster. Skated on here by Ukas. The shot is scored. That one just drifted in. A little bit of a deke in front of the defender. Got a Hearn going the wrong way, and it finds the back of the net, and that is the first goal for the Georgia Women's Hockey Club in this one, and the 16th of the season for that young woman.
Yeah, she's had a few great shots already. That one was obviously the best, going right over that shoulder, and a little bit of life here from the Dogs as the fight song plays.
Yeah, I was unsure how she would be able to get to that one because it looked like her deke kind of left the puck too far out in front of her, but she was able to just get it with the stick and chip it in. Excellent move to get around the defender in what was a 1-on-2. Georgia wins the face-off. They had a bit of offensive zone time, but it's sent out the length of the ice by South Carolina. However, not enough for icing. Georgia will regroup. Good stretch pass out here, and it'll get into South Carolina's defensive zone. They touched it, so no icing. It held up anyway. Good keep here. Now looking to develop is Georgia. Skating around quickly. Wraparound opportunity declined. Instead, there'll be a battle out in front, and this puck will come out almost towards the blue line, and a whiff on the shot creates an opportunity for South Carolina. 1-on-1 here. Develops into a 2-on-2. However, puck goes to the corner. Good pass out in front. Good skate to keep that one out of the slot. South Carolina maintains possession. Shot turned away by Carroll. A little bit of life from both these teams. As a battle on the half wall goes to the blue line. Nardlesko walking in. Carroll never saw it. It doesn't get its play to her. Now it goes wide. And I think they're going to whistle because it looked like whoever blocked it caught it right in the stomach.
Right in the stomach.
That's going to be Stott, so they'll give her a bit of a breather.
Yeah, Stott's been one of the better players here for UGA. And going back to that Alkus goal, we've had a few opportunities like that where maybe if we could have just gotten to the puck, we would have had an odd man rush, maybe a 1-on-0 or a 2-on-1, but haven't been able to get to the puck in time, and these great skaters by South Carolina have been breaking that up.
Yeah, excellent job here by both teams so far. South Carolina, though, could say just a little bit better, maybe 6 goals better. But Georgia, with the most recent and a little bit of fight in them. As Genevieve Crouch will win this one for South Carolina. Quick bouncing knuckleball on Carroll. She looks to cover, and she will. That was dangerous as it bounced 6-7 times before it found its way into Carroll's glove.
Sometimes those shots that just bounce funny are even more dangerous than a well-placed quick shot.
Exactly right, especially off the draw as Crouch wins it again for South Carolina. Now Bowen skating in, passes it off to her teammate. This one sticked away, and Georgia will come up with it. Should be able to clear, and they'll actually skate it out as South Carolina concedes. They'll dump it in, no icing. Does a good job to identify the red line before the dump and chase. South Carolina gets possession. Good forecheck here from Georgia. Now at the half wall. Ooh, a big hit, and that'll be a penalty as it looked like it was started by Sonny Yang, who took South Carolina into the boards. Can't see the defender that eventually, through a little bit of a cross-check, it looks like the earlier goal scorer, Avery Bowen.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity for the Dogs here as they just scored the most recent goal. Perhaps can get one back here, too.
Would be good for momentum. As right now, Georgia's got a majority of it. South Carolina, though, able to win the face-off and immediately clear all the way down the ice. The first time we've really seen something happen that could have been icing, but it actually held up, as that's one of the spots here at the Foundry Pavilion that's outside, and I think that ice might have been a little slushy. So now South Carolina is going to get some offensive zone time here while shorthanded. Georgia eventually comes up with it, and if they skate quickly, they've got numbers. 3-on-2. It's going to be led by Dana, the defender. We'll see her plans here on the power play. She'll wrap around. Now in the high slot, backhanded shot. Blocked by Ahern. Now a battle out in front, and eventually squirts out to the half wall. Now a battle on the half wall ensues, as Stott will get off in praise for her effort, and South Carolina clears, so a regrouping will occur from Georgia. Good forecheck here. However, Georgia establishes possession. But with a lot of tired legs, they'll just have to dump and change.
And Ahern had to sprawl out on that one. I'm amazed that she saved it, as if it had gone, could have easily gone right over her on the ice.
Yeah, it was hard to see what was happening. It seemed like every player on both teams was out in front battling for that puck. 4 minutes and 25-ish seconds remaining in the period, 30 on the power play. As Georgia gets possession, they dump it in. As Kearney looks to follow it up. And South Carolina will now skate it off. Shorthanded opportunity, 1-on-0. Defender can't get back. Shot into Carroll's mask. She looks to cover it, bounces out. Good stick here from the defender. Another 1-on-0 opportunity in which Carroll stands tall. And that's on a power play for Georgia. Shorthanded opportunity as the power play approaches its end. South Carolina skater leaves the box.
If this game were to somehow go to a shootout, Ashlyn Carroll has gotten the experience on these 1-on-nothings.
That is true. And now South Carolina looks to take advantage of the momentum they gained on the power play. Penalty kill. They establish offensive zone where shot goes wide, and it'll go in off the skate. And they'll say it was a purposeful kick from South Carolina. So no goal, as that one was destined to go wide. The woman out in front was able to get a skate on it, and the ref will say that was a purposeful kick. No goal.
I didn't quite think that was a kick, but I'll take it for the Dogs at least. And that's just one of those where you know it's your night when everything you send at the goal just somehow finds its way into the back of the net.
That's kind of how you draw those plays up. You usually hope the puck is on net and that it'll get tipped in a weird way. That one way off and still found its way in. South Carolina wins the faceoff. Skating deep in their offensive zone. There'll be a battle. Puck will squirt out, but thrown back in behind the net. Carroll will flip sides as she watches South Carolina skate onto it. Pass in the high slot, found the stick, but just bounces around. Now the shot goes wide. South Carolina first onto it again. They'll dump it in deeper. However, no Gamecock is there. Georgia will be the first to it on the half wall. This one will come out for South Carolina. Shot on Carroll, blockered away. Now skating around behind her, looking for the man in the slot. This one bounces wide of Carroll. Interesting scenario in which the puck just died after being blocked away by Carroll. As the receiver of the pass was in the high slot, got a good shot away. Now at the blue line, skating into the high slot. Shot turned away off the thigh of it looked like Madison Jennings. One of the twins on this team, as this is covered up by Carroll.
Yeah, like you said, the twins. We got Camille and Madison Jennings from Snellville. They are identical twins, which is so interesting that we have two twins on the team.
And now they're on the ice together, so.
I'm sure they have a little bit of chemistry playing growing up. And
exactly right, as Camille's on the wing. The other wing will get the face-off, but immediately turn it over to South Carolina. And, of course, Madison was one of the defenders that just blocked that shot out in front. Georgia gets possession of the puck. A good forecheck here from South Carolina. Georgia should clear, but just lost in the skates. Now out in front in the high slot. Georgia will recover again, as it's seemingly Stott all the time on these breakouts. Again, she breaks it out. Now she finds Alkis. Alkis shot from the high slot, bouncing out in front, but eventually gloved.
Great opportunity there for the Dogs. You mentioned earlier the puck dying a little bit. It died in the crease a second ago and on that almost icing earlier. And I wonder if some of that has to do with, A, it being outside and the ice getting a little slushy, and also they didn't have a cut in between periods.
Almost certainly a combination of all those things as South Carolina gets this one out of their own defensive zone. Errant pass will find the stick of Georgia. They'll look to regroup behind the net. It's Alkish. She steps around the defender on the forecheck, but is turned over. Now to the point, slap shot goes wide. Trying to throw it out in front is South Carolina. However, Georgia will come up with it. About 75 seconds remaining here in the second period. As an interesting scenario at South Carolina's net. South Carolina will be able to break it out. Lost in the skates, though, as Georgia's able to get it. It'll go all the way down the ice, and South Carolina will get to try their breakout from behind the net. Less than 45 seconds remaining here in this period. Shot, turned away, and it'll go all the way down the ice. We'll see if it holds up. It does. And you can see this outside part of the Foundry Pavilion just is a scenario where the ice is a little bit worse from being outside and very slushy.
Might allow for an interesting third period.
Certainly, as last year, Ren, you weren't here with Torrin and I, but there was a game against Georgia Tech. We'll wait on that story as South Carolina has a 3-on-2. No drop pass wrapping around the goal. Georgia defender sticking with her woman. But now wide open. It'll go off Carroll's body and up into the back behind her. 2 seconds remain in the period. But as I was saying, Ren, is we'll have a 7-1 game going into the third. In the men's game versus Georgia Tech last year, they had to bring out the fire extinguisher to cool down the ice as it had gotten watery. So
that's awesome.
After 30 minutes, it is 7-1. We'll be back in about 3 to 5 minutes for third period action. Stay tuned. Welcome back for third period action. Had a little bit more technical difficulties, so still trying to fix those, as I'm sure you can see. But for right now, South Carolina has won the face-off. However, Georgia is able to skate it out.
And they say it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Maybe the Dogs can put together a few goals here and finish on a high note.
Exactly right. That has to be the hope. As there'll be a battle at the blue line, Georgia will win it, so they'll have a little bit more offensive zone time. As we apologize, the timer is just going to be inactive for the third period, so we'll keep you updated on that. As South Carolina got some offensive zone time, but Georgia immediately skates it back out. It's, of course, Alkis. Her powerful skating, as this one will be covered by a Hearn with 13 minutes and 58 seconds remaining.
These boards are getting foggier and foggier throughout the game. It's interesting to see how they'll be for the men's game later on tonight.
Yeah, interestingly enough, when before this game started, someone went around and squeegeed all the boards. So we'll see if that happens again. As we apologize for the technical difficulties, as South Carolina in the lead, 7-1. As this puck is free in center ice, Georgia will win it and chip it in. South Carolina's first there, and will chip it back out. Now they'll have a 2-on-1 if they hurry, but it looks like that ice got the better again as the puck just died at center ice. Interesting now to where we're seeing passes just get held up by the ice, Ren.
Yeah, that interesting third period we talked about earlier. Could be a very low scoring.
South Carolina 2-on-1, shot after the pass goes wide. Now the chip in front. Will Carroll be able to find it? She meets a body of South Carolina, able to make the save. South Carolina still with possession. Carroll lost where the puck was after a little bit of a collision out in front. 12 minutes and 50 seconds remain.
And a great clear for the Dogs. So they can get an opportunity in their zone here.
Good keep by Davis as she looks to follow up her own chip in. However, South Carolina first to it after the defenders change for Georgia. This one will get out for South Carolina. They're going to have a 3-on-1 if they hurry. Skating in. This one covered by Carroll as no shot was able to get off as the puck just got a little bit too out in front of the skater with 12 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think she tried to get a lift on that one and whiffed just a little bit, so went right into the pads of Carroll. And I believe it's Knight at the face-off for the Dogs again.
She loses as South Carolina gets the face-off and a shot on goal. Does that find its way in? It does, as it was tipped out in front of Carroll. The original shot, not really on net, but the tip as no Georgia defender comes across, able to be chipped in as it is 8-1, South Carolina.
Almost like a slap check from the blue line. Finds a nice tip and gets in past, I believe, right over the pads of Carroll.
Now it looks like a trip right off the face-off, and it will be.
Alkis now on face-off duties.
So South Carolina will head to the penalty box, and Georgia will get another opportunity on the power play with 12 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. They've been unsuccessful so far.
They are due for a goal here.
We'll see if they are able to get one. The shot from the point goes wide. Stott looks to fire it in, but blocked by her own teammate. Now pass out in front, high slot, shot, scored! Alkis gets it in the high slot. She doesn't miss that, beating Ahern glove side, right between the blocker and glove for the second Georgia Women's Ice Club hockey goal of the game.
And that was the assist from Camille Jennings. She's actually the one who blocked the original shot and passed it right up to Alkis, who was coming down from the blue line with some momentum. She has a great shot over the glove of the South Carolina goalie.
Yeah, certainly not how it was drawn up, but Jennings able to pop it out of her jersey, drop it onto her stick, and find Alkis, who one of the best goal scorers in CHS women's hockey. So 8-2 now with 12 minutes remaining in the third as South Carolina immediately comes the other way and dominates offensive zone possession. And we apologize, folks, between technical issues and now the most foggy boards we've ever seen. It's getting a little difficult.
There's water vapor coming up from the ice and getting all over the boards. You can see it in the lights.
Camera has a decent view still as South Carolina skates on, but for us, you can even see it. It's kind of impossible to see what's going down towards Ashlyn Carroll as she tries to fall on the puck. It bounces out. South Carolina tries to chip it in deep, but Georgia eventually brings it out. Kept in from their own defensive zone by South Carolina, and now they might have a rush. They do. 3-on-3. Shot. Doesn't find its way to Carroll as it's blocked out in front. Scrum for it in the high slot, eventually gotten by South Carolina. Wrist shot here, turned away by Carroll, but the ensuing shot off her blocker goes in, so another second chance opportunity that South Carolina doesn't miss as they go up 9-2.
And that was right place at the right time for South Carolina as Carroll couldn't get across the crease quick enough. That's a tongue twister. But that was Claire DeVito earlier, who had a great clear getting it across their blue line, but a few bad passes and a quick rush for South Carolina led to another goal.
Now Georgia wins the face-off. It'll be Alkis. She's trying to go end-to-end, or really face-off to other end, as she throws a pass out in front that is turned wide. South Carolina now with clean possession. They'll skate it out. Drop pass here will find its way all the way to the back of the net behind Carroll. Now Georgia going the other way. Good move by Alkis. Another good move, but she's unable to fully get around her defender. And she gets her to fall down, however. Now Alkis clean possession. Backhanded shot goes wide. No one there to help chip it in. It is kept in the zone until South Carolina is able to almost sky it out. Didn't really get too high, but did get over the stick. Georgia now, it's Alkis again. Actually, this is Stott skating on. Second best skater we've seen tonight. She throws it out in front for Georgia at least. Knight recovers. She'll throw it out in front as well. However, kicked down in the slot and skated out.
A few centering passes there. No one's been home so far.
As South Carolina develops their offense, Georgia with some good defense here as they get possession, but South Carolina remains on the forecheck. Battle at the half wall, won by South Carolina. Now they'll have some time as Georgia sets up their zone. Shot goes in on Carroll. Looked like it was blocked away. It was, and now Georgia will carry it out. Couldn't tell if that one was blocked by a defender or Carroll. Nevertheless, Georgia had possession until it was sent right back in. They look to skate out now. However, this powerful forecheck of South Carolina goes to work again. 9 minutes remain in the third period.
And that was Catherine Davis a second ago working hard up the board. She got trapped, though, on that forecheck.
It'll be Alkis again. Again, she'll take a shot kind of from the blue line. She's able to recover her own shot, almost able to throw it in while Ahern was still recovering from the original. So it goes wide, and yet Alkis almost skates all the way around and able to tuck it in instead. Good save by Ahern. 9-2 here as South Carolina comes up with the puck. They look for the breakout. They have to send it all the way down the ice. This one should be on Carroll. We'll see if she covers. It won't get that far as it holds up. Battle for the puck, but it's eventually rimmed all the way out. South Carolina gets possession. Stretch pass. Sits on the blue line, waits for some sort of entry. She'll skate around her own players and find it on the side closest to camera. Skates it down into the slot. Pass turned away. Now a shot finds the stick of Carroll as she turned it offside.
I'm not sure that one even made it to Carroll. I think it got blocked by one of the Georgia defenders.
This shot did make it to Carroll as it bounces around, but Georgia able to recover here. South Carolina with good offensive zone time here as they look to put this one away. They're able to hold the line and dump it back in.
And a great keep-in by Bowen. We know she's got a goal, and now working hard to keep that zone and prevent the clear. This one might not be preventable, though.
Georgia tries to skate it out. They are able to, but South Carolina will immediately regain the zone. Walking in, shot from the low slot, turned away. Players end up on the ice. Carroll will eventually cover as skating in all alone, getting around the defender and falling to the ice after Carroll able to cover. 7 minutes remain here in this third period.
And I think the refs decided they're going to let them play on that one. Could have been maybe a cross check or something in the back, but no call from the refs there.
I think it was skates just getting intertwined. So face off to Carroll's left. Not won cleanly, but eventually won by South Carolina. Shot from the point. Doesn't find its way to Carroll. Now walking into the high slot. Now to Carroll's right. Tries to step around the defender. Is unable to as Georgia looks to skate it out. Good forecheck here from South Carolina. Keeps it in as they fight on that red line. South Carolina now wins the puck cleanly. Shot goes wide. That was one of the more powerful shots we heard tonight as it hit the board with a clean ring there. As the puck is still in South Carolina's possession in the offensive zone as Georgia looks to clear their defensive zone. No great opportunities so far yet in this offensive zone time as the puck is rimmed around the boards almost relentlessly as South Carolina looks for an opening. Now it'll come all the way out, so Georgia able to stand tall. This will help them get a big change as they have tired legs on the ice. Good stretch pass here. We'll see if it goes too far, if it holds up. Looks like it held up, so no icing.
Yeah, that puck had been in the South Carolina zone for like 2 to 3 minutes, and I don't know if Georgia got a change that whole time.
And they still couldn't get their forwards off, so still some tired legs as South Carolina looks for their best opportunity. Behind the net, now to the half wall, and this is chopped out. So now we'll see if Georgia changes off a few more. One will head to the bench. She'll immediately receive the puck and give it up to Alkis. Alkis will skate in. Able to get around one defender, able to get around another. Toe drag swag goes off the side of the net. And she almost tucked that one with one hand. Now a 2-on-1 for South Carolina. Good defensive play as the puck got too far. It was Alkis again, it looks like, although that might be Morgan Allward. Hard to see that 8 and 9 difference when it's tucked into the jersey. 5 minutes remain in the third as South Carolina comes the other way. This one turned away at the red line, thrown out in front of the goal, goes wide.
Carroll's been staying strong, but also I think some of that crease defense by the Dogs has gotten a little stronger. They're not giving up little goals right there on the crease.
Yeah, this puck will now come all the way to the defensive end of South Carolina. South Carolina has certainly had the majority of the offensive zone time in this third period, but like you said, Ren, at the very least, Georgia can say that they've kind of held it more manageable for their goalie.
Yeah, I'm not sure the shot total, but I think Carroll's been staying a lot stronger this third period. And like I said with that defense.
This puck out in front, and Carroll will cover. 3 minutes and 35 seconds remain.
I guess you could say the quality of shot has decreased for South Carolina. Maybe not the quantity of shot, though.
Certainly, I would agree. So they'll get changes here. And with South Carolina's short bench, some players being told to stay on.
I was going to say they have to be exhausted here. Only a few bench players.
Luckily for them, they'll be able to walk away with a win tonight, most likely. If you're a Georgia fan, that's not exactly lucky for you, as they've got a hole to dig back up through, as it will only increase as this puck just skittered out in front and was chipped in to make it 10-2.
That was a little backhand shot, I think. I don't know if Carroll was expecting the shot to come her way.
Again, we can only apologize. As you can see on stream, it's very, very hard to see anything for us on that end.
I think they're going to wave this goal back. I believe offsides, based on where the faceoff was.
We'll see if it was a scoreboard issue or if the refs did wave the goal back. I think you're right, though, with where they dropped the puck. It was likely waved off for some reason. I didn't see a signal. South Carolina gets possession of the puck, but Georgia able to skate out. Now maybe with a little bit of ref help, they'll be able to do something. Stott tries to get around her defender. Great play from Nardlesko as she skates it in.
Really gets around her and Stott working hard back.
As this one...
Wow. That one, I believe, went in.
Unfortunately, again, we cannot see anything, but I think it did go in. Are we seeing a celebration?
Based on the body language of the players, I'm going to assume that one went in. Just another unlucky one there for Carroll, though, as I think it was Stott who was coming down quick to try and keep it out of the goal.
So scoreboard in-house will change to 10-2. We apologize again. This is some of the interesting scenarios you can have when playing outside. Two minutes and 40 seconds remain here in the third period. A 10-2 affair with South Carolina on top of Georgia. South Carolina will enter their offensive zone as Georgia looks to regain possession of the puck. They will, but they'll only be able to clear it to center ice. South Carolina skates back in, looks to develop some offensive zone time to finish this game out. Georgia quick again on the clear, but this one not coming fully out. It'll find its way into the high slot and eventually blown dead. I think it was another goal, this time from the high slot, that Carroll just lost to make it 11-2.
I think she tried to bat it away and just whiffed a little bit. She patted her chest, though, and said, that one's on me, so.
Yeah, that one wasn't really a shot, Ren, was it? It was just kind of thrown out and see if something good happens, and it did, as Carroll played it a little lackadaisically, but no one can blame her when she's likely faced up over 50 shots tonight.
Easily.
Those mistakes tend to happen late in games, as it's 11-2 South Carolina over Georgia. South Carolina won the face-off, established offensive zone time, but Georgia and Stott able to skate it out into the offensive zone for them. Stott, good skating around her defender, backhanded opportunity. It is turned away. Silent hero of the game for South Carolina has been Ahern, while Georgia has certainly not had enough chances to put 11 on the board. Ahern has done an excellent job when she's needed to.
Stott with some great skating there.
As now South Carolina threw one on net. Players end up on the ice after, I believe, blocking the shot. This one will be covered after a good stop from Ashlyn Carroll at the side of the net. 68 seconds remain.
And on Stott's shot there on the other end of the ice on the Georgia offensive zone, I couldn't tell. I think I know she shot it backhanded, and I think it got blocked by a skater, not the goalie. So
Yeah, mentioning how someone fell to the ice, it looks like another one they caught in the stomach. As the face-off is won by Georgia, but quickly got by South Carolina. Shot from the point. Another player goes to the ice after, I think, blocking it again. So not only will Ashlyn Carroll need a little bit of ice after this one for all the shots she's taken, but the defenders likely as well. Less than a minute remains. South Carolina sends it in deep. They're way off, though. Way, way, way off, and they finally get the memo as Georgia skates out on the near side of the camera. Morgan Allward with the puck behind the net. She throws it out in front. No one's home, though, and now South Carolina will have a breakout. This is going to be a 3-on-0. Ashlyn Carroll left standing on her head, and she's able to turn the first shot away and eventually is able to cover, I believe, Ren. What a job.
Great save with her right leg there. Like you said, 3-on-0. South Carolina going for one last push here as there's 19 seconds left in the game. Got the original shot. She saved it with her leg, and then two more South Carolina skaters came in, but Carroll stayed strong there. That was impressive.
20 seconds remain. Clock ticks down as South Carolina looks to win by double digits, and Georgia looks to get out of here. 10 seconds. Skated down ice. We'll see if Georgia can add one now as Alkis tries her best. However, it'll come to center ice. Clock hits 0, and that'll be the end of this one. So 45 minutes of play, growing the game here in the Southeast. These women's ice hockey clubs played excellently. South Carolina comes away with the 11-2 win over Georgia. Thanks so much for watching this one. I'm Joe Kopsho for Ren Grimsley on color and RJ Craig on camera. We hope to see you next time. Stick around, not on this channel, but stick around on YouTube. Look up UGA men's ice hockey as they'll play Oklahoma State here shortly. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.